How do you maximize being single? And what do we look forward to in being single?
Just because you're single, you need to wait for something or someone to come into your life for your life to truly explode and make a difference. It's a period where, for me, you can begin to really discover who God has made you to be.
2 words, and it's all about establishing value. Now, you have to be able to come to a place na as a single person, you have to know that life is more than just simply fun experiences, although it is part of that. You gotta come to a point that you have to be conscious of establishing value as an individual. You cannot simply ask a woman to change for you.
Life The Crossroads.
Sige.
So, third question.
Ito lagi ko nakukuha to. Itong question na to. Yeah. Master din tayo dito. So, the question is, how do you guard your heart and respond to people who tell you your standards are too high, or why are you so picky, or you need to put yourself more out there? Like sa totoo lang
Well, for sa side ko naman, sa side namin pala, andyan pala kayo guys. Meron naman yung parang, uy, pwede siya, tapos pag di ka nag-respond, kala mo naman kung sinong gwapo. O kaya pag nag-respond ka na, pwede na. Kung nanonood ka man,
I love you!
love you. Tapos kung pag nag-respond ka na, pwede na yun. Pag kunwari, pwede naman. Parang, ang taas-taas mo, parang ganyan. Ganun pa din yung tono ko.
Parang may trauma ka.
Kaya naman.
Bahala na si Jelaine dito.
Pero kapag pag gumanyan ka na sa, gumagana, pataasan na ng letter I yun. Ganyan, daming capital I. So, lahat ng respond ko mali. So, how do we respond? Yan. Kapag ano.
Nakapagpatawad ka naman.
Ha? Hindi po forgiveness ang session natin.
Ay, hindi forgiveness.
Singleness. Next episode.
Alright, sige.
How do you guard your heart?
Ang dami ng tanong, no? Haba, like,
Standards.
how do you guard your heart?
Yeah. From people who tell
you your standards are
you're too
too high.
you're so picky.
Sige.
Yeah.
I'll siguro, for me, I'll tackle this question in several ways. Several angles. Siguro, firstly, if changing your standards would seem to be unfaithful to who you are, then don't. That's the first thing that I would say. What does that mean?
Very good.
That means na kung sa tingin mo, mako-compromise kung sino ka just because certain people are expecting you to change your standards, then it just goes to show that you are basing the possibility of a relationship on what other people think, and you're not being true to you. And one of the key elements of the success of a relationship, any relationship, is that the two people or any person involved in that relationship must be authentic, genuine, and true to themselves. And if you cannot be true from the onset sa sarili mo, dahil sabi kasi ni ganito, dapat, and you feel na parang kompromiso yun sa sarili mo, then don't. You be true to yourself. You know? Why? Because if that's how you're gonna peg your relationship, then that's how you're gonna maintain it.
Right.
In short, yung success ng relationship ko kay Lay will be based on your opinion, what you say, even if kami na mag-asawa.
Yeah.
But we know that that's not the basis of it. So I guess that's my first attack on it, first angle. Now, on the other end, if you sticking to a list of standards would prevent you from even taking the first step of exploring a friendship with another.
Good.
Yeah.
Just because, ito yung standard ko dapat maputi, matangkad, 5'10", malamis universe ang walk,
Parang hindi natin.
36, 24, 36. If that perfect list hinders you from even opening up a relationship that would be a godsend to you or would be a blessing to you, then I would tell you that that list of standards would definitely let you miss on God's best. You know, like, before I met Lay, nalabas ko na yung ideals ko, di ba, before. Di ba? Before I met Lay, I had the notion of, ito yung ideal ko, kailangan matangkad.
Inulit mo lang.
Yun na ngayon, okay, di ba? Pero how many times do we see in the Bible, or how many times do we get reminded that our thoughts are not necessarily God's thoughts for us? That what we think is best for us is not necessarily what God thinks is best for us. When I met Lay and I proposed to her, I realized, I'm so glad I didn't follow what I thought was best for me. If I kept that standard, I would have missed out on God's best. Gawin na. Diba? I mean, so if you have a standard, by all means, have a standard. Hindi naman pwedeng wala. Alam mo yun, hindi ka naman pwedeng pumatol na lang kung kani-kani. No, you have a godly standard based on your values, based on the word. You know, but then you have to acknowledge what are the deal breakers here. Ano sa standard ko yung pwede kung I can hold loosely and let go? And then what are the things that are so real to me because it's part of who I am and it is so intertwined to who I am. Like for example, kung believer, tayo as believers, it's pretty put out there, you know, like believers.
Right.
You know, do not be unequally yoked with others. And that's not legalism. That is God's best for you. That is God's intention for you.
Right.
You know, so I believe in a balance of things. So another thing that I wanna tell, I guess, people is that of course people say na put yourself out there. Of course, practically socialize. I mean, how will you find a partner if lagi ka na nakakulong sa kwarto? You know, and kahit ka sa social media, wala ka.
Sa Zoom, naka-off cam.
Kaya sa Zoom, naka-off cam. O kaya kung nasa Zoom ka man, mukha ka pang losyang. Diba? And then you have like 1,000 people in the same Zoom room.
Right.
You know, and I mean, practically interact, practically carry yourself out there. Don't be a snob. But having a balance of all those things now, I want to say this. Being yourself is the best advertisement that other people can have.
Wow.
You being yourself and the real you is the best advertisement of yourself.
That's good.
So yeah, put yourself out there, but if you putting yourself out there would cause you to be pretending to be somebody else,
That's good.
I would say, you know what? Take a step back. Be yourself. Don't move because you're pressured by other people. Don't move according to pressure. Don't move according to people's opinions. But keep an open heart and evaluate yourself. What are the things that I need to change? Baka nga meron akong perfect standard that is hindering me from even exploring what is probably in front of me already. So that's me.
I guess for me, you know, that's really perfectly said already. I mean, he said a lot of things. Tsaka marami na siyang attack, no? Merong scientific, mathematical, tsaka spiritual. That's really excellent. I guess for me, it's simple. I cannot let other people tell me what my standards are. Because they're not going to be the ones who will live with your choices.
Right.
My choices are mine to make. And so I have to live according to my choices. So again, it goes back to you not creating a standard of another person's life as your own standard. Because God created us differently. The only standard that you must have is what God has told you. Right? I mean, all of us and young adults, this is where you really can maximize your time in being single. Take the time to get to know what are the promises and the inheritance that God has given me. Kasi marami yan eh. If you know the promises and the inheritance that God has given you, may excite ka eh. Hindi ka mawawala ng hope, you know? And you will be driven to prepare for those things so that, again, when that other person comes in, ready ka. Diba? You're ready for that. So, do not let other people define your standards because that's not you. each of us, you're unique. You carry something na kayo lang ang nakakaalam nun. So yung mga friends, we appreciate you and we value you. All the friends, kahit kami, we tease people. But sakto lang, di ba? I mean, kaya love nila kami. Saktong tease lang.
Wala mo!
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're good!
Okay. Sakto lang, I mean, friendship is always like that, di ba? There's always fun and teasing, but this is where your security with who you are comes in.
Yeah.
Kahit gaano pa karami yung kumukuyog sa'yo, tama ba yung term ko? Bumubuyo sa'yo, hindi ka maaapektuhan, mag-enjoy ka lang. Because at the end of the day, you know who you are, you know what you're expecting from God, and you know what to give to the other person. So, kung hindi pa time, relax, hindi pa time eh. 'Di ba? Kung tingin mo hindi pa ready to move forward,
The
hindi
pressure
pa
is
time
off.
eh. Right. Take the pressure off of yourself. Even with people who want to get married and in a relationship. Kasi some people are asking us also with this, gaano ba tagal kailangan mag-date? Gaano ba talaga kailangan manligaw? Gaano ba talaga, before mag-engage? And you know what? There's no cookie cutter or formula to that.
Yeah.
For as long as you're not compromising who you are, your identity, and you know for a fact na your steps are ordered, alam mo naman, nag-prepare ka, you did your best. Not perfect kasi walang perfect eh. So kung naghahanap ka ng perfect, baka forever ka na single. Kasi walang perfect eh. Right? And so, for me, you look at one person, you appreciate that person for the potential that they have, but you take it also one step at a time. Start with friendship, start with acquaintance, and then move it up to friendship, and then move it up to, okay, let's see, by conversations, saan ba papunta tong taong to? Ano ba yung carry nitong taong to? Kung hindi ka naman magti-take ng time to talk to that person, hindi mo malalaman from afar what that person carries, di ba? Kung si Pastor Mon ay tumingin-tingin lang sa akin, di ba? Hindi niya malalaman na ako pala yung best. Yes, di ba? I mean, there has to be that risk that, also, you have to jump into that risk kasi it's part of getting success. I mean, every great person who has something great today has taken that risk that they need to take.
Yeah.
It's always there. So if you're not willing to do that, then you'll stay there forever. If you're not willing to come out of your comfort zone, your safe zone, your convenience zone, right? Kasi another person will always give you inconvenience kasi, ay, hindi ako sanay makipag-usap, grabe, or it's always gonna be inconvenient, di ba? As opposed to mag-isa ka lang. Kasi sometimes, ganun yung single, ako lang, okay na ako, me, myself, and I'm used to this. Wala akong kailangan i-please, But on the other end, you also need to step out and go, okay, hindi ako sanay matulog ng 11, pero ngayon kasi wala nang ibang time kasi, you go out after work and stuff. So there are things that you need to adjust as well so that you can put yourself out there. Because otherwise, wala, yung lola mo lang yung makakakilala sa'yo. Kumain ka na ba? Ano ka lagi sa kwarto mo? Zoom, turn on ka naman ng mag-lipstick ka naman, mag-makeup ka naman, suklay ka naman. I mean, it's a beautiful thing as well when you finally find that person. I mean, it's a beautiful thing na makita mo, wow, may compatibility. Not perfect yet because walang ganun eh. You don't meet a person and go, siya na pakakasalan ko. Kung meron ganun, baka you're in over your head already and you're making a rash decision. Take it slowly, take it one step at a time. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
That's good.
So yeah, I guess that's it. That's it for me, for that.
Yeah.
Wow. Natulala ako. Nahimasmasan. Kasi how comforting it is. Kasi for a single, puro pressure. Lahat ng kaibigan namin, excited na kaming magka-relationship. Di ba?
Pero excited ka na ba?
Oo!
Ayun!
Pumiyok pa ako. Sobrang
Ulitin natin.
excited.
Excited ka na ba?
Oo.
Ayun.
Ayan. Tapos, sa mga kaibigan namin na excited for us, thank you. Chill lang tayo.
Yeah. Do we have time for another question?
Maybe last one?
Time is up.
Yeah, I think para may konting bitin tayo. Yeah, I think for this session, we've received a lot and we want to thank you, Pastor Mon and Ate Le.
Thank you for having us as your guest.
Oh,
Yeah.
welcome sa bahay namin.
And thank you for hosting
Yeah,
Life
buti
at the
nakapunta
Crossroads.
kayo.
You guys are excellent and we enjoyed this conversation so much. So,
Mag-show tayo ng
yeah.
appreciation kala Carps sa kay Chyna.
Right. Yeah, take the time, guys. Hopefully, you guys got something from this conversation. Again, this is Crossroads, and this is
Life at the Crossroads!